Leopardi, Shakespeare, two troubadours, Donne, Sidney, then Spencer, Milton, Chaucer, and Yeats, and Monk, Horan, Roche, Blake, Coleridge, Dante, Baudelaire, and Stork and other authors, Stork and Altautori, poetry after the classics. And thus spake on that ancient man, the bright-eyed Marinere. Hi everyone, and welcome to Poetry After the Classics. What? You expected a multilingual intro? A translation? Do you have any idea how long the poem we are dealing with today is? I am not going to translate it. So the start of today's episode is not a translation, but rather a tune which I made for the poem. Let's try to briefly go over the history of the tune. So, the first step happens on the 12th of October 2011, where, according to my diary, surgens in mente abui ideam generalem musicae pro Rime of the Ancient Marinere. As I got up, I had in mind a general idea for a tune to this poem. And the tune was presumably set to thought up for the first stanza of the poem, and then it was meant to be repeated. So the first stanza would have gone, "It is an ancient mariner, he stoppeth one of three. By thy long grey beard and glittering eye, now wherefore stopp'st thou me?" There are a couple more steps from way back when, at a time when I did not write this down, so I do not have dates for this. I only wrote this down in 2021, so way later. But anyways, the first step was a variation for the tune of line 2. So, putting it onto line 2 of stanza 2, instead of the normal, if you will, "And I am next of kin," I decided to add an extra note in the form of, "And I am next of kin." And then the other step is noticing that some stanzas had 5 lines instead of 4. And the one I saw evidently had the structure of 2 plus 3, so I came up with a way to musicate this extra line. And so the full stanza would have gone, "With throats unslaked, with black lips baked, we could not laugh nor wail. Through utter drought all dumb we stood. I bit my arm, I sucked the blood, and cried, 'A sail, a sail!'" At which point we skip forward to December the 3rd, 2021, when I finally decided to write this thing down in my corpus of musical works. And at that point, I noticed that some stanzas were actually in the form of 3 plus 2 rather than 2 plus 3. And for those, I just decided to repeat the tune of line 1 for line 2. That same day, I also noticed that some stanzas actually had a structure of 2 plus 4. So what did I do then? Because, I didn't have something to deal with that. And what I did was the following. "The western wave was all aflame, the day was well nigh done. Almost upon the western wave rested the broad bright sun, when that strange shape drove suddenly betwixt us and the sun." So I just repeated the tune of the standard 2 lines with 1 note changed at the end. And then I noticed that there were some stanzas of the form 4 plus 2. And what I thought of was to alter the tune for line 2. And then as I wrote that down, I thought of integrating that variation of line 2 from late 2011, from what was probably late 2011, because I must have done those 2 variations while we were dealing with the rhyme at school. And the result of that, with an extra step of altering the values of some notes, was with sloping moss and dipping prow, as who pursued with yell and blow, still treads the shadow of his foe, and forward bends his head. The ship drove fast, loud roared the blast, and westward we fled. But that is not all, because I came back to this on the 1st of February 2024, in preparation for this video, and then I noticed a stanza with 9 lines, which were like 3 plus 3 and then another 3. So what did I do? But that, of course, was not all, because I had to establish clearly what each stanza's tune would be. And I was not going to make the score for all of this. So what I did was, February the 10th and 11th, I prepared a post with this history in it. And then for each variation of these tunes, I gave a label with a number and a letter, and possibly a prime, in case the line was supposed to start with the stress on the first syllable, because that also happens. There's also lines which start with like extra syllables that don't really scan, but I didn't give notation for that. So, and then I went through the text of the poem, and I gave a tag to each and every line. So now I'm reading the lyrics with that, and I am hopefully ready to sing it all with this guitar. So sit back and enjoy the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Enjoy listening. There passed a weary time, each throat was parched and blazed each eye. A weary time, how blazed each weary eye. When looking westward I beheld a something in the sky. At first it seemed a little speck, and then it seemed a mist. It moved and moved and took at last a certain shape I wist. A speck, a mist, a shape I wist, and still it neared and neared, as if it dodged the water's pride. It plunged and tacked and veered, with throats unslacked, with black lips baked. We could not laugh nor wail, through utter drought all dumb we stood. I bit my arm, I sucked the blood, and cried, a sail, a sail. With throats unslacked, with black lips baked, agape they heard me call. Gramercy they for joy did grin, and all at once their breath drew in, as they were drinking more. See, I cried, she tacks no more, hither to work as wheel. Without a breeze, without a tide, she steadies with upright keel. The western wave was all aflame, the day was well nigh done. Almost upon the western wave rested the broad bright sun, when that straight shape drove suddenly betwixt us and the sun. And straight the sun was flecked with bars, as large as sand as grace, as if through a dungeon grate he peered, with broad and burning face. Alas, thought I, and my heart beat loud, how fast she neared and neared. Are those her sails that glance in the sun, like restless gossameres? Are those her rays through which the sun with cold. The naked hog alongside came, and the twain were casting dice. The game is done, I've won, quoth she, and whistles thrice. The sun's grim dips, the stars rush out, at once straight comes the dark, with far-heard whisper o'er the sea of shot the spectre bar. We listened and looked sideways up, here at my heart desired the cup, my life blood seemed to sip. The stars were dim and thick, the night, the steersman's face was nightly white, from sail the two did drip, till clomb above the